Okay, got this thing masked off, and I think I'm going to start with this guy. I think I want to go out, so I'm going to go out like that. You see that? I think that'll look better than me just going around in a circle, just kind of radiating out. Give it a different direction and sort of accentuate the bezel, make it look like it's got these vertical lines instead, make it look like it's popping out. Hopefully this will turn out right. Seems to be getting there. I got about 5-10 minutes to get this done. Otherwise I gotta take this to the car. Basically, can you see that? If I just put it down, more stable platform. Hope is I won't wear away the masking particular. I don't mind it on the metal, I can polish that, but you don't want to lose it around the crystal, because that could be a pain in the ass if I somehow add brush marks out from there. That's no recovering that. I believe it should be a sapphire crystal, I think. If that's the case, then if anything, it should be pretty resilient against scratches anyways, right? If you can see that finish coming out there. Once I get this done, that should basically it for the finishing part of it. I did add quite a bit of horizontal brush strokes earlier from doing the rest of the case earlier, so hopefully I can get this out of the way. Get the scratches out for the brush, whatever that. I guess you consider them scratches if they weren't intentional. But the ones that are intentional, you call them brush marks. Okay. Let's see if there's any other way. There's potential. I have a Dremel that has basically something like it on there, but I'm scared to use that. I think it just spin out of control, and it's a bit bulky because you gotta have this big machine in your hands, and it's not that articulate. I think the best thing to do is to try and brush it out evenly. Actually, I don't want too wide of an area, because if you go too wide, you're going to get brush strokes that aren't coming down directly. right, because here it's kind of at a slant. So that's why I actually want to do this small area. That way you can control. That's why I'm not using this whole thing, because I'll get completely vertical brush strokes, which is not what I'm looking for. You gotta have it radiate out, just like this, in frame, for a little bit. Angle that I'm going at. This is tricky because you're trying to radiate out evenly and you don't have really a solid reference on how to do that. This will come out okay. I don't know, maybe I might need to go at it with a Dremel later. Just like this. It might even up the tone a little bit better. Let's see after I use the smooth one. Finer brush pad. However this turns out, it's not somehow the smoothest brush work. I think it'll be good enough, and again, I keep saying better than the high polish. So I really did not like that. It's just too much. And definitely prefer a more brush industrial look. The trick is to keep giving longer strokes. I can really get that. It's a little bit longer than short ones. See the difference? And by the way, the masking tape I'm using is this stuff. Tamiya. It's good stuff. I use it to mask my models whereas I don't want to paint areas, do my own panel lines or rather stripes or something, and more detailed work where I need to mask off the paint job, especially around windows. Or, yeah, maybe some art, mainly stripes or panels on, say, like an airplane or spaceship or something. It's thin, you know, it's not that bulky like painter's masking tape that you can get like at Home Depot or whatever. It's smaller, you know, strips, and it's just generally easier to work with. It doesn't leave residue, and the main thing is that it's also, yeah, that's not that thick, so you can kind of you can kind of final one. I just might have to smooth it out a bit more. What was I saying about this? Yeah, you can just conform to the shape of what you need and get the edges really down in there. That way. A tight masking shape. Yeah, I think that's helping out. Get rid of some of the harsher brush marks. Ready. Okay, let me back up. Continue this outside. Okay, let's see how well this turns out. So I'm balancing this on my knee while I'm in my car. So I was trying to finish this up. I got kicked out of the office because they have to close. But here we go. This is it. After about another, at least another 30 minutes since I last hit the recorder. I'd say this was maybe a total of 45 minutes I was at this or so, 40-50 minutes maybe, just to carefully brush it out radially, you know, like coming out from the center. And you can see the finish. I think I got rid of the horizontal scratches that I got from, you know, brushing the case earlier on the surface here, and I managed to keep, I think, mostly, you know, vertical lines coming and radiating out from the center. Is what I wanted. I could have gone circular, but I thought that was a little boring since the case has that same brushing direction. So this one goes out like this, out from the center. So from the profile side, it'll just give it this kind of motion going out this way. So I think it'll make the bezel kind of pop, and a little more interesting since the finish isn't exactly like you just did like a big sanding over over the whole watch in that direction, although that wouldn't have been possible. So I want to unveil this now, if I can, with these gloves on, and show you what it looks like after all the stuff I did today. I managed to squeeze it out from work, at work rather. It's not part of work at all. So, all the careful masking. I may have to take off my gloves here, because this stuff tends to stick. Protected the buttons, and you can see I left the, the sides polished, just to give it some more interest. In addition, I think it would have been a pain in the ass to try to brush with the buttons in there in the way. So, this is always the fun part. After you put the time into detailing a model, like if you do like weathering, you know, and and layers of paint just to create an effect. It's so cool to see what was done afterwards, and came off easy. And you can see how the case is. Can I get that center? I'm looking at the screen from on top and upside down, so bear with me if I get out of frame. But what do you think? I think the masking went pretty well. I got the can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. I got the edge where the brushing meets the polish. I think pretty even. Looks good on this side. And let's turn it around. Let's see how I did here. This was a challenge too, because the way I had to mask over these buttons, not easy. And you know, it's not secure, but it looks like I did manage to get the division between where hopefully this doesn't get too dark for you. I'm gonna have to bump up the ISO in a moment. God dang it, what the heck is my sorry, let's try to look for my of course everything is scattered everywhere, and this is not what I need. Let's see, is there a way to bump up the ISO? Maybe the I think the ISO is max. Let me try to brighten this, because it is getting dark. Okay, hopefully it didn't screw up the recording. There it is. Carefully blow some of the sanding debris off of the case. Alright, I think this is looking pretty damn good. This edge turned out really nice. You can see that. See that? Right there. See where it meets? Right there. I am glad I didn't actually brush the whole thing. You know, just, you know, this is how most watches come. They have the various finishes, and oh yeah, if I could do this, you see the slight bevel, this between the top and the side. Yeah, that's not going to happen with my limited tool sets here. But looking pretty sharp. And let's see how it is when I peel this crystal, the masking off the crystal here, so you can see full effect. Dun, dun, dun. I didn't sand onto the crystal, hopefully. That was one of my fears, that during the bezel process it might have hit the crystal. Oh, there we go. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. Can't complain. Yes, much better over that. If you look at the previous video, or maybe if I put some images of what it was before, You just look it up online. Tokyoflash Rogue. Not the Touch, not the Touch Pocket, not even the SR2, which looks pretty much like this, but they have a color film. It's the Touch, and it comes in high black and what was formerly high polished silver. I have, you know, this, you can tell this is what it used to be all over, but I think this looks pretty slamming now. Not bad at all. And here's the lighting effect. It actually looks green here because I color balanced this correctly. That's what it should look like. And in case you don't know, it's not really a review, but just showing you my little project here to get this into specs. I'll show you with the bracelet on later. It's at home, but there is an alarm here as well. Just turn it on like that, and that little dot, that circle ring there, that tiny one indicates that that's the alarm mode, and you can turn it off and you can set it accordingly. And there's a thin bar that's like halfway between there that indicates on this side it's, I believe, AM, and then on this side it would be PM. And the same is indicative on the normal time here. Let me just actually turn off the alarm. This is what it's set for. That's, I think I set it about 10:45 AM. But if I go for normal time, right now it should be showing about 5:43. If I'm mistaken. Yeah. Sorry, it's upside down. Not bad at all. Oh, I'm so glad I got this done. Anyways, can't wait to put the bracelet back on and see the whole thing, show you guys, and we'll be trying to pair this with some strap options. Hopefully I can get something to fit in here. It is rather tight, but I think it's doable as long as the material is not overly thick. You know, something like for a Panerai. Okay, that's it. Thanks for the patience of watching me do this. Focus. Have a great day.